Now here's David Smoke, Paul Catalina, and Craig Smoke.
All right, here we go. Micky Spagnola, DallasCowboys.com. So we have Mickey normally Thursday, and then I thought I sent him a text earlier today, sent it to the wrong number, called him up, reset it for right now, and then about 2 minutes later after we took a break, what did I do, Paul?
You forgot.
It's a bad thing being old, Mickey, and I'm not trying to suggest that you are as well. How you doing, man?
I'm good. I'm and flexible. How about that on a Friday?
Well, that's good to be flexible at our age, and we appreciate that as well. So I know that there's disagreement about the Hall of Fame. There always is. What was your reaction when you saw that DeMarcus Ware did not get in last night?
Well, originally, so I don't know how closely everybody was paying attention, but four of the first five modern day guys that were introduced, they got introduced by somebody from their own franchise that's in the Hall of Fame, right? Brett Favre did Butler, Steve Young did Young, who, by the way, went to my high school.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I'll just throw that in. Anyway, and so when Emmett went out there, I was keeping track on my little pad, and I said, oh, well, DeMarcus Ware's next. And then he says, Art McNally. And I said, Art McNally? I said, they gave him the wrong card, right? It was like the beauty pageant. You know, they gave him the wrong result. And so my jaw dropped. And so then when it was over and I started reading and learning more about the guys that got in, I sort of understood, because he's going to get in, right? Well, and none of the first ballot guys or first year eligible guys got in, by the way. And so I started looking, and some of these other guys, like Sam Mills, this was his last year to get in. This was 20. And if he doesn't get in, then he goes into the seniors selection, and then it's a backlog there, right? Mm-hmm. I think Boselli, 16th year in this deal of eligibility. And so I think what happened, and I know the committee doesn't do this, selection committee doesn't do this as a block, but I think a lot of guys start looking like, boy, we better clean some of this stuff up. Because if we don't get these guys in now, chances are the backlogs are going to become even bigger. And if you get into the seniors committee deal, then it's even longer, right? So let's kind of clean these guys up. So when I finally realized that, I was like, okay, this makes sense. He'll get in next year, right? Or the year after that. His credentials, if you just look at them, you know, seven of the 9 years with the Cowboys in the Pro Bowl. He ended up with 9 Pro Bowls in his career, a ring, an all-decade player in 2000. I think it was 5-time All-Pro. He's going to get in. And so I think what happened was they looked at, well, we better get some of these other guys in, right? And we'll just push this one down the road. So after I realized that and how long these other guys had been waiting, I was like, okay, I understand what's going on. Now, what I don't understand is how they keep putting all these safeties in, and Darren Woodson can't get into the finals, right? Lloyd Butler, nice player, right? Darren Woodson was as good as him, won as many Super Bowls as that guy did. But he can't even get to the final part of it. And that one, I don't understand.
Mickey, outside of DeMarcus Ware, which Cowboys from his era, I guess would be Witten, will get in for sure. I mean, his numbers as a tight end there's only a couple guys ahead of him. And who else? I mean, I know there'll probably be a bet about Romo. Are we leaving anybody out?
Well, I'd go back to Woodson. I mean, remember Woodson played into. Yeah, but he played into the 2000s.
That's true,
right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, his last year was on injured reserve. I believe it was 2004. Bill wanted him to play one more year, and he tried, and the back wasn't good enough, and he ended up retiring at the end of the year. So he went from 1992 to 2003 playing. And after that, no, I don't know that there's anybody else that other than Witten and Romo to get consideration that goes in. Now from where we're at right now, I think Tyron Smith at some point will get in. I think Zach Martin at some point will get in. But other than that, no, I right off the top of my head, I don't know that there's anything else. I just thought it was a dirty trick to have Emmitt Smith go up there and then him say Art McNally.
Yeah, that did throw a curveball at it, no question.
Mickey, Cowboys found a new wide receivers coach, and now he's interviewing with the New Orleans Saints. Where do they stand with Robert Prince and this New Orleans interview?
Yeah, well, I guess they hired him, but if they're gonna, and I didn't see it, did they interview him for offensive coordinator's job?
Yes, I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah, and that would be the deal, and I would see that and you just find another receivers coach. I think that with Adam Henry, they all said, well, his contract expired. Well, everybody's contract expires. And if you like the guy, you re-sign him, right? So there must have been something there that they were trying to improve on from a receivers coach. And, from the way the receivers played down the stretch, maybe they did need some improvement there. But I guess there's other guys out there that, you just go ahead and say, okay, well, let's find the next best guy to be the receivers coach. But we'll see how that turns out, as we've seen them have so many guys get interviewed, right? And nobody got hired. And I also saw that Adam Henry, who had, before he got to Cleveland, was with the Giants, and I saw them interviewing him as a wide receivers coach.
Mickey, you have the Bengals, who have hit it with their quarterback, a young star receiver, and others that they have. A team that has to get better in other ways, but here they are playing for the Super Bowl. And then you have the Rams, who were talented, but they went for it with Stafford and then Von Miller and Odell Beckham, etc. If one of the two wins, does that change how Jerry and the Cowboys move forward?
No, I don't think so, because each of them did it a different way, right?
Mm-hmm.
The one did it through the draft, Cincinnati, and we'll see where that goes. They might have caught lightning in a bottle. And then the Rams decided that, well, they were just going to buy a bunch of veterans and go for it. And we'll see how that one goes. And then we'll see how it goes in 2 or 3 years when they don't have any first-round picks. Okay, you take one shot, right? Everybody looks at Cincinnati, and I saw somebody saying, well, they've won as many playoff games as the Cowboys have, since 96. Okay, so do you want to have a losing streak for 20 years or however long it is, 15? Or do you want a team that at least was in the hunt? Not every year, but at least half to the majority of the years. So, which way do you want it? Is one Super Bowl or one playoff run since 1988 worth it? Or does that cancel out everything else that the Cowboys did, at least winning division titles? I think it's just kind of, what you want, how you want to look at it. And I understand the Cowboy fan, because they're going to look at it negatively that they can't get out of the first round of the playoffs.
Micky Spagnola, DallasCowboys.com with us on Sikkim 365 Radio.
Mickey, Micah Parsons, unanimous Defensive Rookie of the Year. I don't think too many people are surprised by that. And I know that you were high on him coming in to the season. A lot of people were. But how did he exceed maybe your expectations in year one?
Well, I think the ability to do more than one thing. When I looked at him as a linebacker, it was like, okay, I think this guy can play. Now, I didn't think he could line up standing on the line of scrimmage and become a pass rusher at times. And so Dan Quinn, I think, had a great plan for him when he realized the talent this kid had. It was like, okay, I'm going to give him all these different things to do, and let's find out what he can't do. And then I won't ask him to do that as a rookie. Well, I don't think he found much that the kid couldn't do. And I think maybe that was the surprising thing, how absolutely versatile he could be. I was convinced he could play linebacker. I was convinced he could play linebacker on the nickel. But the ability to line up on the line of scrimmage at his size, and remember, I know he's 6'3", 246, but when you're going up against 300-pound offensive tackles, that's difficult. And they'll start running on you, right? And he was able to, the times that they want him to do that, to change up the defensive look, he was able to hang in there. So I think that might have been maybe the only surprising thing from him. And I was just glad everybody else finally came around and realized just how talented this kid is. And, and the funny thing, he's got a great nature, and he's also this super competitive guy. He doesn't want to fail. He doesn't want to not make every tackle on every play in a game. And I think that was so refreshing. And when you see him as humble as he was, accepting that award last night, although here's a funny one, and I didn't see it. Somebody told me this. I think the Texas Rangers tweeted out a congratulations to him. And he tweeted back and said, "Thanks, first pitch." And he wanted to throw the opening pitch of the game
immediately. Yeah.
Well, when they have a day, he should be the one.
Yeah. No.
Well, absolutely. You got nothing to do in April and May, right?
Yeah.
Get him out there.
I bet he throws it right down the middle of the damn plate too, probably.
And he says these things in interviews too that you're thinking, now does he sit at night and think of this stuff, or does this come right off the cuff, all his stuff about, the lion and the cheetah and all that stuff. And by the way, on that 40-yard dash at the Pro Bowl that he won, and I know everybody was talking about Tyreek Hill didn't try. Well, he didn't try after he stumbled trying to start, right? He didn't. Everybody else is in a sprinter stance, right down on the ground, and he's standing up ready to go. And the first step he took a misstep, and he realized, I got no shot, and so then he trotted. He didn't trot just to trot. He did because he knew he wasn't going to win. And there's Parsons laughing the whole way as he's winning, right? Because he knew. It reminded me of the deal. You remember when the NBA All-Star game first came to Reunion Arena? Was it like 86 maybe?
I think 86, yeah.
Yeah. And they had the 3-point shooting contest, and I was covering this. And I remember going into the locker room before the game, and I heard this story. Larry Bird walks in. Everybody's sitting there in the locker room, and he's looking at the guys that are in the 3-point shooting contest, and he goes, "Okay, we know who's going to win here. I'm trying to see who's second." And it was like, that was so funny, right? And it was true. The other guy said, yeah, he did that. And I had a feeling that, Parsons, as confident he is in his ability, thought, okay, I got this. And I'm going to laugh all the way as got running backs chasing me, right?
Yep.
I think he's quite a deal, and the Cowboys very lucky that they didn't have a cornerback available to take before they could get to him.
Yep.
Mickey, I want you to wear the medallion that he wears. I think you can pull that off.
No, I want, and I should have claimed this. When he was talking about the lion and everything, I came up with the thing. I said, no, he's not a linebacker. He's a lionbacker, right? I want a shirt that says linebacker, right?
They have something there, yeah. Yeah,
hey,
absolutely.
Get that now if you can. If that's not taken, Mickey,
Yeah.
Maybe.
You know what? I saw somebody use it about a month later, and I said, they stole my deal.
Yeah.
Linebacker. Yeah.
All right, buddy. Thank you, man. Appreciate your time,
All right.
Micky Spagnola.
Enjoy the Super Bowl.
Thank you, sir. Micky Spagnola, DallasCowboys.com, with us. Normally Thursdays, found room for us and vice versa for him today. When we come back, we'll have Kix Brooks.